Hello everyone and welcome back to Painting with Martin. Today we're back with another how to play video, and today we're taking a look at a game called Norsewind. And this is a game designed by Marco Canetta and Stefania Nicolini. I hope I pronounced those right. It's published by Aporta Games and it plays 1 to 4 players, about 30 to 60 minutes, I would say closer to an hour, but I've seen it played in a little bit shorter time than that as well. And I had the great pleasure of meeting at Aporta Games and a guy called Eilif. He's from Norway, and since I'm from Sweden, we managed to speak quite well. And I've asked him, is it possible that I could show my viewers on my channel how to play this game? They said, yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much to Eilif, first of all, and also to Aporta Games for giving me the opportunity to show you how to play video of Norsewind. I'm going to put the game box over there just for a second, and you can see it in the background. This is a game, as I said, for 1 to 4 players, and I've set it up for 2 players, but I will be making frequent references to 3 and 4 player setup during the game setup and during gameplay as well. This is not a full playthrough. This is more like a shortened how to play video with some theoretical endgame scoring, how to do it in the end. So let's get started with setup. There is a general setup and there is also a player setup. Also, I'm next to a road, that's where I live, so there might be some cars blaring and some horns blaring and some cars stopping outside. Hopefully you'll be okay with that and not trouble too much about it. So in the general setup, you place the some shade here. Well, maybe I'll keep it up here. Yeah. There's a player board. Looks like this. You will set up the meeple selections in each corner where it says a meeple over here. And based on player counts, you're going to take out 8 of these tokens in a 2-player game. For 3 or 4 player game, you will take 10 players. For 3 players and 4 players, you will take 12 figures in each supply. Then you will take these shield tokens, and as well as these, actually they're called upgrade tokens. So you will actually make the upgrade discs, and you will place them here in supply. Here is the shields, and here are the victory points, and then you'll place them in the supply here otherwise as well, the other ones as well, like this. Now there is also a wild tokens, like wild meeples, like white ones over here next to a castle area here. These ones are actually 4 per player. Return the rest to the game box, and of course the others in the other colors also return to the game box. Place the castle tile next to the game board, as well as the last era cards. Actually also turn them around. You can see how they look like. Really cool card art, by the way. Odin's ravens and some longships. Place all coins in the general supply, and this is also called the reserve deck, by the way. Now you're almost ready for the setup, but we also need the main game cards. As you can see here, they have a 1+ section, 1+ marker here on them. The 1+ here means that it's for 2 players and 1 players. For 3 and 4 players, they actually look a little bit different. For example, it has 4 here, and for 3 players, it looks like 3+. So if you play with 3 and 4 players, shuffle the necessary cards into the deck and form a main draw deck. As I've done over here. I'm going to tilt it to the side here to make sure it's oriented in the right way. There's also some guys working with a chainsaw outside, and this is a perfect day, I thought, to actually shoot a video. Now, this is what the game looks like when it's almost, and they also draw cards like this. If you draw a card, you can place it anywhere you want. If you draw one of these cards, then you just place it here or anywhere else in the setup. But if you draw a castle, it is not going out to these places, it goes immediately out to the castle area as such. Instead, you draw a new card, replacement card, and you place it out as such. This one like this, and the next one like this. Sorry for the glare, hopefully you can see it. And oh, there's another castle over here coming out over here. And let's see what else comes out. Oh yeah, there's a blacksmith. You can orient these cards to make sure that all players can see kind of what they look like according to your discretion. Now, as far as I know, this is the general setup. Now, for solo rules, which I'm not going to cover, please see pages 11 to 12 in this rulebook. Now, player setup is a little bit different, but now you have a chance of taking a look at what it is, and I will be making frequent references to this area when I'm playing the game. This is the first player marker, and we're not going to cover this one immediately. This is the general money supply. I will come back to that in a second, but let's take a look at players. There are 4 player cards in each player's play area, and they are doubles. They are sided, as this is this player's with this shield, like this, like marker or this like symbol, and they look like this. You simply take one player and your player color, and you will simply draw them out and place them 1, 2, 3 and 4 as such. The other player will do exactly the same. He has this symbol, and they are all going for Northumbria, East Anglia, Mercia and Wessex. And of course they look like that on the other side. After you've done this one, then you want your money, but not yet. There are 4 tiles in the game, and the tiles are kind of like, there are green and red kingdom tiles. Draw 2 of them random, one from the green pile, and this is the green symbol here, and there's the red symbol here. Draw two of them, one green and one red at random. You do that for one player, and the other player copies it. And then you will simply do it like this. You will place the, you do two green and 2 red. So this is two green and 2 red that I've drawn out. So they will place them out in a random order. So I will put the green one up over here, I will do the red one over here, and then do a red one over here, and you'll do the green one over here as well. The other player will do exactly the same. So we have a green one over here, and we'll place this one down here, exactly the same as the other one. And we have, let's see, the other one. Yes, the green one is up over there. And let's see what the other one is. No, not that one. And yes, here we go, in Mercia. And then, of course, we've got the last one over here in East Anglia. All of the other ones are unused, are returned to the game box as such, and will not be used for this game. This means that every game will be very different based on which kingdom tiles will be in use. Now, when you've done that one, and this is done in the order that the oldest player draws these ones, and then placing it one random on each of the kingdom tiles, each of the kingdom cards face up, just to make sure of that. Now, there is also a starting deck looking like this, and you will simply shuffle it and deal one random card to each player, one to here and one to here, as such. Now you will reveal the card simultaneously. There's no hidden information like this in this game, and you will take a look at the number. Here it's a 2. So you look at this one here, this corresponds to this 2, so he will place it in East Anglia. This is a farm. The other one here has a longship, it's a 3, so obviously he will place it in 3, that means he comes down into Mercia as a 3 here. I recommend not covering these over, as I've done here, which was a little bit of a mistake, but hopefully that you'll be fine with that. Then you'll take a look at these numbers in the top left corner. This is S04, and this one is S01. The lowest number becomes the starting player and takes the Viking ship tile as such, as this. Now let's get some money. So you can see here this farm gets 2 money as a starting income, or not starting income, but starting money. Here we get 2 money. This one here, this longship, will get 4. And you will simply place it in as 4 as such. And these will be relevant later on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Now that is the player setup complete. Now let's take a look at an overview of the buildings here. But we'll do the overview of the building in a second. In the game, you will take turns, and you will have to perform one of the following 2 actions. Either you acquire a building, this is a building, here, 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 and here, or you acquire a castle, if the castles are out. They may not be that in the beginning of the game, but they may be available for later purchase. So if you want to acquire a building, which you have to do, which means that if you cannot acquire one of these buildings, you will simply shuffle the buildings into the bottom of the pile and draw 4 new buildings until you can actually acquire a building. Because the only buildings that actually have a cost is this one here called an inn. This costs 2 money. There are also some restrictions of where you can place these buildings, but let's come to it. So if I want to acquire a building, and I'm the starting player as this one, let's say I want to acquire a farm here. This one looks good. So I'll take the farm over here, and I will simply take it and place it in anywhere I want in my kingdom. Every kingdom can have at least have a maximum of 4 buildings go in the rows like this. However, there are restrictions. The green ones and the red ones impose restrictions what you can place and sometimes where. So for example, this one here, you have to play, if you want to play building here that has 3 or more Viking helmets, such as these ones, and they will matter later on for the end game scoring, then you will have to pay 1 gold. This one here means that you can only have 2 buildings here instead of 4, so that means you can't play something like this. A castle is not a building. We'll come to castles in a second. So keep in mind of those restrictions. The green ones usually give a bonus, and the red ones give a restriction. And this is the same for every player. Each green tile comes with 2 Viking helmets, and each red tile comes with one Viking helmet. So to offset the bonus and the restrictions. So let's say where I want to place this building. I want to place it here in Northumbria. Once I do so, I can then, before I do so, I can actually gain one of these meeples. I can get a blue one, or I can get a yellow one, because it's adjacent to this card that I just took. So why is this important? Now you can see that there are places for meeples on the cards, including your starting card. So the black ones are already filled in and cannot be used for any meeples. They will be good for endgame scoring, so black ones are really good. However, yellow, purple and red can be placed. However, I don't have any blue, as I could have taken a blue, but I can't place it in. And if you can't place it in, if you don't have space for it, or you simply don't have the matching colors, you don't take a worker, or a meeple, whatever you want to call it. Then it means I can take a yellow one, and I will place it in immediately, and I will place it in here in East Anglia. When I place it in here in East Anglia, I'll zoom out a little bit like this. If I place it here in East Anglia, it will be worth points for endgame scoring, so it's really good to be able to do so. As soon as I've taken a building, of course, I will redraw and placing in a new building coming in as such. Now, what does this farm give me? So I placed in this one starting. I placed in this one. It doesn't. The new work. It doesn't have to go in the same building. It can go in any building in your kingdom. Now, this one here is a farm. This one is also a farm. So this card here gives you 2 money for each farm in your other kingdoms. It will not give for this one. It will give for this one, or this one where you have farms. I have a farm here because it was my starting building. So that means I gain 2 coins from the supply, giving me like this. Great. Now that's the end. That's called gaining income. And that's what happens after you've chosen and placed a card and possibly a worker. Play then continues to the other player here. What does he want to do? So he has a bit of money, he has 4 money, but he doesn't have enough. Well, actually he does have enough. And I think he actually wants to build a castle. And he can build a castle here. It costs 3 for the cheapest castle and 5 for the more expensive castle. And he actually wants to build a castle immediately because these are quite nice. So he takes the three castle and places on the left of the kingdoms. He can place it in any kingdom he wants, and then he will trigger the bonus on top of in that kingdom. So he's going to place it here in East Anglia. So here, this one does not apply to him because it's this one. The castles never come with Viking helmets. Otherwise, he would have to pay 1 extra money if it had a Viking helmet of 3 or more. But not. He will pay his 3 money. So I will show you how to build a castle, and that means I will then trigger the income of this one. 2 money for every ship he has in other kingdoms. In this case, he has a ship here, which will trigger the income, and therefore he will take 2 money. This was a cheap castle for him. Since he actually took a castle from over here, he can also now take a joker token. And this one, of course, is done either during income or before income, but make sure that you do as well. The joker meeple, the white one, can be placed on any of these symbols, but it cannot be placed on the black pre-printed one. He cannot take one that he can place, it's simply lost. He's going to place it over here for the red one. Now, play will continue like this, back and forth, until this one here will run out. And when this one runs out, you will simply play out these reserve cards in these factions, in these places, until they eventually run out, and then it will trigger endgame scoring. But let's play a couple of rounds before we go to scoring, so we have something to score. So it goes back to the first player here. What does he want to do? Well, I think he actually wants to do... he wants to build... Oh, no, he doesn't want... He needs more money. So, oh yes, this is nice. He wants to take a long ship. A long ship will give him an immediate 4 money, as it has a little lightning symbol here. That's really cool. And he will place it in over here. Now, this thing here would not trigger because it triggers for other kingdoms. But, so actually, maybe he will place it in over here instead. Here he can have maximum of 2. This one has 4. So it doesn't. It means that he can have 1 more card here, and that's it. But he gets 4 money, which is really good. I will take a 5 and exchange it for a 1. Now, so he took one of these. He can place in a red one or a yellow one. So he will take a red one and place it out over here, and this one. And he will refill the market with a farm. Play then continues to the other player here. And he is really looking to get some upgrade tokens. He has the money for it as well. So what he will do simply here is he will take a blacksmith, I believe. He will take a blacksmith as such. Take the blacksmith here, and this part of here, which means he can take either a blue worker or an upgrade token. And he will place in the blacksmith over here, I believe, like this one. It triggers the blacks. Oh no, he will actually place it in here in East Anglia. Or will he? No, he will place it here in Northumbria, because here it's actually really bad for him to place the 3-1. Because if he places the 3-1 here and it has 3, this one here, he will have to pay 1 more gold for it. And he doesn't want that. So he places it in here. It doesn't trigger any bonuses because he doesn't have any other farms. But he can take an upgrade token. Upgrade tokens are quite cool. They're double-sided. And that means they can either take a shield, or you can take a point marker, one of these. A shield or a prestige space, that's what it's called, prestige. Now, he can place in the prestige as such here. If it had a shield one here that would have been grayed out, he could have placed the shield. The shield does not cost any money, and it will boost your defenses against the Viking invasions. Now, but this one here means that he have to pay 2 money for this one. And this actually signifies that like this, and it will give him more points in the end of the game, potentially. So he will place it here, and he will pay his 2 money and no income. Now, new card comes out, and it's an inn. Inn will give you income as well, but it's the only card, as I said in the beginning, that actually costs money. This one costs 1 money, and this one, because it's a little bit better because it has more spaces, it has a cost 2 money. Going back to the first player here. He still doesn't have a castle, but maybe he wants to have a castle. Maybe he does. So he will simply take a castle over here. It cost him 5 money. He has 5 money. And that means he's going to place in the castle over here, like this. It costs him 5 money, and he can take an immediate joker guy, and he's going to place it in over here as such. Going back to the second player. Second player will simply take another unit here now. Now let's see here. He will take the inn. Yes, he will take the inn here. The inn here, we'll place it in over here. It cost him 1 money, which is the last money he has. It doesn't trigger this one because there's only 1 Viking helmet. But he will be able to take a blue worker, and the blue worker can come in over here on this little ship. Then he will trigger the income bonus, and he will get 2 money for every ship he has in other kingdoms. He has a ship here, which gives him 2 money. Now, then he will refill the card. Oh, it's a castle. Nice. And we'll continue playing a little bit because I want to show you something else. Now, play continues back and forth like this, and I want to show you something here suggesting that one player managed to take this one here, and then he made an upgrade action, and he took a shield. A shield can then be placed over here on one of these shields. That's why it's grayed out. Now, if this would be endgame scoring, and I will show you now how endgame scoring will actually work, assuming that all of these cards are now actually finished, and you go to the reserve deck, and everyone plays equal turns, then you will simply go to the end of the game. So that means you will score victory points. So this is for endgame scoring. So let's assume what endgame scoring will be. Endgame scoring will be the following. If you have a castle, and the castle protects against shields, this means you will count up the number of Viking helmets you have, which in this case you will have 5 Viking helmets, and in this case you have 11 plus 2, which is 13 shields. 13 shields is more than the Viking helmets you have here. Then you will simply score. In this case, you will score 1 point for every worker you have over here. So in this case, he will score 1 times 1 point. Okay. Down over here, he has 2 Viking helmets, and here he has 2 prestige markers, but he doesn't have these filled in, so this doesn't give him any points. If he would have had the pre-filled ones, he would have actually scored more points. But for the sake of scoring, let's assume he had a marker here, a worker here, and a worker here. That would have been 1, 2 times 2, 4 points. And as you can probably imagine, the points can rack up pretty good. However, this is really bad. You can also get minus points here as well. Here you have 1 plus 2, 3 Viking helmets, but no shields. So what does that mean? If you get shields, for each kingdom whose total shield value is less than the total Viking helmet value, you score -7 points. So you can actually get minus points in this game. And here, of course, you have 2 Viking helmets and no shields, so there will be a total of -14 points in the theoretical scoring. You will go up over to this player. It's -7 points. Here it's -7 points. Here is -7 points. It's a really bad example, but I just want to give you an example of how to do it when you're actually doing endgame scoring. Excuse me. So here you have 9 shields and you have 3 helmets. But in this case, the shields are more than the helmets, and you will simply do the scoring. Here you have 1 point. If you'd done an upgrade token here, you would have 2 prestige points, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 1 is 4. If you would have had this one over here with a prestige marker as such, you would have scored 4 times 2, 8 points, which is a lot. Now, of course, if you have 4 cards, you can rack up the points quite a lot. Now, this is a short explanation of how to score the game. There are also variants you can place with, like for example, you can draw 4 kingdom tiles of the player color to determine the starting kingdoms instead of 2 green and 2 red kingdom tiles, so there can actually be 4 red tiles, which can complicate the game a lot, or 4 green tiles. So you of course copy as normal. And of course you can do a solo game as well. Sorry about that. So this is a short explanation of how to play Norsewind. I hope you like this game. If you play it, please let me know in the comments what you think about it. And if you've also played the solo game, let me know what you think about it. I normally don't play solo games, but it happens that I do. So this is a game that I really enjoyed, and I played it on 2 players, and I played it on 3 or 4 as well. It works equally on all players. So I also like the card art, and thank you very much to Aporta Games and Alif for giving me this game at Essen Spiel. Also, if you let me know if I've missed anything in the comments, any rules or something that I should have mentioned. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow, and thank you to all of you who have subscribed as well. Thank you very much for watching. This is Norsewind at Painting with Martin.